Hey guys, good morning. It is Wednesday, Warrior Wednesday. I'm going to take a couple of minutes and share some food for thought before I go train at the world's greatest martial art training facility, Las Vegas Krav Maga. Shameless plug for the tribe. Hey guys, today I want to talk about something, or at least talk to myself about something that is a useful mind exercise. And it's something that I learned many moons ago when I was in the Navy. Yes, I was in the Navy and the Marines. But back when I was in the Navy, and I took a firefighting class. And I got an interesting takeaway from the firefighting class that I applied forward as a metaphorical guide in my personal strategy I'm going to share with you today. And in the class, they were telling us about the components of fire. What makes fire? They wanted us to understand what made fire, how fire worked before they taught us how to put it out. And he went on to say that there are basically, for the longest time, people thought that there were three components of fire: fuel, heat, and oxygen. These are three things that must be present for a fire to exist. But then later, they learned that there was this idea, this thing that they called this fourth component, if you will. And it's the uninhibited chain reaction. And the reason why they talked about this fourth component is because back then, there was a gas we used to use to put out fires called halon. And when you sprayed the gas, the fuel was still there, the heat was still there, the oxygen was still there actually too, but the fire went out. It disrupted that chain reaction. So you could actually have the three components of fire present, but not have fire. Interesting idea. So what I'm going to suggest you consider for today, in this little 5-minute conversation, my out loud conversation with myself, is that your desire is your first component of your fire. So here's the challenge for today. Look at what you're trying to do, your personal strategy, your personal goals, your life's mission, whatever you want to focus on for this exercise, and ask yourself, break down the components of fire, right? Fuel. What are you doing? How much energy will be needed to do what you need to do? And how are you fueling yourself to make that happen, to make that sustainable? Think about it in terms of body and mind, right? Physical fuel. How much physical effort are you going to have to apply to make whatever you want to have happen? And two, what are you feeding your mind, right? What are you constantly putting in to have the sustainable energy, if you will, to do what it is you need to do? Oxygen, something that is most critical for life to exist, right? What is the most critical thing in your plan that must happen, that must exist for your plan to work? What is that oxygen? And is it present? Are you doing things to make it present? Fuel. We talked about fuel, we talked about oxygen, heat. Heat is the measure of transfer of energy, right? The transfer of energy. So in the quest for your life's mission, in the quest for your personal goal, how much measured effort, not, thought about effort, but how much measured effort have you applied towards getting your goal? Not, hey, yesterday I worked really hard. Really? Exactly how hard? What was the input? What was the outcome? How much measured energy, heat, transfer of energy have you applied towards your goal, your strategy, your life's mission? And finally, how are you with that uninhibited chain reaction? You, my friends, are the fourth component. Your desire. Because if your desire is hot enough, if your desire is high enough, the rest of the spark will exist, right? The spark will exist, the fire will exist. You're off your way to a roaring fire and you're on your way. But if your desire is not high enough, you are missing that fourth component. And although you may sit in the environment of everything that's required for you to get what you want, do what you want, be what you want, without that fourth component, there is no spark. Without that spark, there is no fire, there is no flame. Most coaches that are much more brilliant than myself, right, much more learned and much more experienced than myself, will usually get to a place where they tell you, for the most part, most people always have what they need. They always have it right now. They don't need anything. They don't. The perception of need is usually a conversation around resourcefulness, and resourcefulness is usually a byproduct of priority. In your priority shift, you become more resourceful. When you become more resourceful, your perception of need tends to fall into the background. Most of us have what we need to do most of the things we want to accomplish. So with that being said, you know, I'm asking you to consider how you sit today with your fourth component of fire. Flame on, people. Flame on. Have a great day.